Alright, welcome once again to my channel. I will be sharing with you 12 tips to finding a job in the UK as a new immigrant, or even if you are applying from outside of the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, my name is Chinyere Ojike. Welcome to my channel once again. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more. One is to understand your visa requirements. Do you have the right to work in the UK? Are you looking for a sponsorship job, or are you here as a dependent looking for a job without sponsorship? This is what you have to understand. You ensure that the company that you are applying to can offer you that sponsorship if actually you needed one. Now, if actually you are looking for a job with visa sponsorship, it is up to you to go to the government website, gov.uk, to ensure that the company you are sending your CV across actually has the right to sponsor you. Do not waste your time applying to companies that cannot offer you that sponsorship. 2. Improve your English skills. You may have to improve in this if you are from a country that is non-English speaking country. For Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, most of you guys speak English originally, especially Nigerians. Your country was actually colonized by the Great Britain, so you don't really need to start polishing your English, because generally in our home country we learn in schools using English language, which is our lingua franca, but if you are going in for a corporate role, customer service, healthcare, you might have to ensure that your spoken English is of a minimal standard. Yes. And those of you from a non-English speaking countries, you might consider taking an English course lesson to improve in your English skills, including your writing skills as well. 3. Tailor your CV to the UK's standards. And employers actually expect a standard CV tailored down to your skills, your achievements. Make it very concise with a strong personal statement, relevant experience, and key skills. Avoid including a photo, age, and marital status in your CV, as these are not standard in the UK. Moreover, as you put your CV together, ensure you are using clear formatting, focusing on achievements rather than your duties. What you have done in a job. Focus on achievement. It is very much important. And meanwhile, if you are looking for help on how to create your CV, there are different online apps that can help you create a perfect UK CV. Usually, I use CV Help. This is where I usually create my CV in the past 2 years. Though you have to subscribe. I think it was £3 or thereabout in a month. At the end of the month, you just cancel your subscription and that's it. By then you have created your CV, different CVs depending on the kind of job you are looking for, and they will help you format your CV according to that UK standard. CV Help. There are a whole lot of them, but I use CV Help. 4. Use online job portals. If you are looking for a job in the UK and your CV is not on Indeed, Total Jobs, Rates, and so many of them, even LinkedIn, I don't know how you would claim that you've been in the UK for 3 months looking for a job and you didn't find one on Indeed in particular. Whenever I am looking for a job, this is where I have an account with them. Create an account with them if you want, but once you find a job, you just unsubscribe, because they will keep bombarding you. A lot of job listings are on Indeed, and employers are currently there looking for people to get on the job for them. Last week, Friday, I got a job. That same day, I will be starting next week. My role as a supply teacher, you need to register with different agencies. Yes. So the current 2 agencies I'm working with, shifts are not coming as I would love to. So I decided to reactivate my account on Indeed. PM, it was just coming everywhere. I was just ignoring messages. Yes, because I don't want to go through the processes of all this interview, 10 years work experience. Some would want you to enter this 10 years work experience like you are typing a fresh CV. So I didn't want that. Fortunately for me, one of the consultants in the education agency that I work for contacted me. He said he saw my application on Indeed. Yes, that he left his other agency that he's with a new agency now as a consultant, and he has known me, I've worked for him, blah blah blah. He booked an interview for me the next day. We had the interview. The job is my reference is just remaining one person to return the reference. I will kickstart because I told him I want to do Monday to Friday from now till at least Easter. That's the end of the term. Until next time, I can still go back to my 2-3 times in a week. Put your CV on Indeed. Define what you want. Your inbox, you're gonna get tired. You will get tired. Hence, you fix your CV and put it there. You will get tired. You'll be the one to unsubscribe. Right now, after I did this with the consultant, I just had to go and unsubscribe because I don't want those emails buzzing my inbox anyhow. 5, consider leveraging on community groups. Yes, join a community group, WhatsApp group, associations, attend events, job fairs in your area. But community group, currently in the Igbo community group where I belong, I am one of the admin. Constantly people share job opportunities, job availabilities in this other place. They are looking for even sponsorship job openings. And some people became lucky by applying to this job. I even shared one there myself because somebody wrote me directly in my inbox if I'm looking for a lecturing role. I am not looking for a lecturing job. So there was a lecturer in the group, new lecturer from Nigeria, looking for a job. I just had to send. So write this consultant. They are looking for a job in this particular school. A whole lot goes on in a group. Identify with a particular group, community of people, your church, anywhere. Just talk to them that you are job hunting. I've referred people in my church precisely, and they come back to say thank you, thank you. 6, consider registering with the recruitment agencies such as micheal Page, Hedge. Indeed is just a website, job website. There are other recruitment agencies that you can register with. Employers are always on these agencies looking for candidates who would match a certain job roles for them. So you might register with different employment agencies. They might offer you a chance. I know this micheal's Page, they offer engineering job roles and different lot of them, and make sure that you search a job opportunity in your field. This is why you have to register. You choose the industry, maybe education, hospitality, healthcare, business, whatever. Ensure that you choose the industry that is relevant to your skills. That would really help. Okay, 7, gain local work experience. If you are struggling to get a job in your field, consider having a voluntary job, unpaid job, part-time. It could even be just 2 hours in a week. Yes, people that do voluntary work in all of these charity shops, some of them is just 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 7 days, 3 hours in 7 days. That would enable you to understand the work culture in this place, familiarize yourself with tips, how life and culture work in this particular country. And employers honestly value people who have gained such experience because they are already familiarized themselves with the work ethics, people, culture of the UK. So this would really help you and boost your CV. Yes, me talking about one person remaining to sign my CV reference for me to kickstart work next week again. Yes, I'm working tomorrow and next. Don't just misunderstand me because I work with multiple agencies, so I'm going to work tomorrow and next. But this particular new one, I need just one person to sign my reference so that I will kickstart with them. It's a new agency entirely. And that person is where I've been volunteering in the last 3 years, since December 2021. I've been volunteering with them. Sometimes I don't go, like next week Friday I won't be going. I volunteer once in a week. Yes, for 3 hours, especially if I get a full-time job that I do Monday to Friday, I don't go until during the school holiday. And it's not a must that I should be going there every Friday. This is what voluntary work is all about. But they do my reference. So you might consider something like that. It will help you if you have tried severally, you are not getting a job. Consider volunteering in your field. If you're looking for a work in a school, go to school, nursery school, primary school. You can go to any hospital around you, any institution, library, and volunteer with them. Just 1 hour, 2 hours a week. That particular field where you are looking to get a job into, volunteer with them. Once there is opening, they would even take you than any other person who hasn't, volunteered with them. Yes, and employers in this very country, they prioritize that a lot. They would prefer you to anyone who hasn't got work experience in the UK. 8. Consider enhancing your qualification, because some professional bodies in the UK require you to register with their own professional bodies or their own industry for you to be able to practice. For instance, you are a nurse or you were a nurse in your home country, joining your husband here or your partner here as their dependents. You may not be able to practice your nursing, if you like, practice in your home country for over 15 years. You cannot practice here unless you get certain qualifications. I think OSCE 1 and OET is another thing you need for you to practice. Even if you have been a doctor in your country for 100 years, coming to the UK as a dependent, you need to write PLAB 1, PLAB 2, pass those 2, and then test of English before you can practice as a doctor. The same apply to teachers. Teachers, they have their QTS, qualifying teacher status. Yes, before you can teach in a school. I studied psychology and education in this country. I cannot teach practically in a school unless I get that QTS. I do go in school to work as a cover supervisor, presenting already prepared lessons by a class teacher, not me preparing those lessons. No, I am not allowed to prepare the lessons and teach as a cover supervisor or a teaching assistant. No, I do not have that qualification yet. Despite that I've been living in the UK, before I need QTS. You know, a whole lot of industries require you to have registered in their body. Just like you trying to become a social worker, you need to undergo a certain qualification here, and a whole lot of them. So you might consider having an additional training to qualify you to be able to practice in the UK. 9. Prepare for UK job interview. So generally, UK's job interview focuses on competence-based level, where you are expected to give an example of past work situations, how you were able to solve a particular problem at work. For instance, you might want to research on the STAR method interview situation in the UK. STAR, S is situation, T stand for task, A action, and R for results. Use this method to structure your answers before you go for an interview. This is the method they usually use. STAR method. Interview questions and answers, STAR method in the UK, where they expect you to respond to their questions based on the previous work situations. You know, how you have been able to solve a problem, situational problems in your previous work role. Moreover, employers also assess cultural fit. Yes, understanding the British work etiquette is something that you would consider, because they will assess you based on that, how you react to certain situations at work. You might want to consider, this is not something you read about. This is why they would always go for somebody who has had experience, maybe through volunteering, experience, part-time work, because that person has actually been to workplace, understand the workplace, the work relationship, how to respond to customers or clients at workplaces in this particular place. This is why they usually give a chance to anyone who has volunteered or who had previous work experience in the UK. You might need to understand this British work etiquette before going for your interview, because they're going to bring up questions related to workplace situations to see how you would handle such cases. 10. You might have to consider alternative job paths, especially if immediate job starts in your field is not forthcoming. Consider a field that is related to your particular area. For instance, as you move to abroad, maybe as a doctor who is a dependent, you know that you are not getting on that job immediately. You are not getting a job as a doctor. You consider a different pathway, healthcare job role. Yes, medical job is also in healthcare, but there are other ones that wouldn't require you to do PLAB for you to start, which is support work, healthcare assistant. And then as a nurse, you might still go through the same pathway. As a teacher in your home country, you might consider becoming a cover supervisor, teaching assistant, child worker. All these do not require you to bring that your oversized certificate for you to get on. This is also similar to those in the engineering field. There are a whole lot of other work opportunities or job opportunities you can take on while brushing yourself, doing the required exams for you to pass and get on your job in particular. This is what it is meant by saying consider other career pathway. Some people, even as they consider doing something different or related to their field, they might choose to continue in that field when they realize that that particular career they jumped onto, also pays better and allows them more work balance compared to their major career. You see a lot of people leaving their medical roles, because of hard tedious with zero work-life balance. These are the roles that are mostly respected and regarded in my home country. But on the internet these days, you see a lot of nurses living their most cherished and respected opportunities. It's sad though. 11. Endeavor to understand employment rights and work culture. Reading and understanding the UK labor rights helps you to stay safe at work. At least you understand when you have your annual leave, maternity leave. You learn about your holiday pay, minimum wage, what is the current UK's minimum wage. It helps you to negotiate when they offer you a particular amount of payment, maybe £10, £20 per hour. You understanding what the minimum wage says would help you to decide, no, this is not fair enough. Can you go a bit higher? Can you go a bit lower? So you have to understand what the labor right is. Are you supposed to take your break? How many minutes break are you supposed to take when you are working for 7 hours or less than 7 hours? If you are working for less than 6 hours, are you supposed to go on a break? If you don't know all this, you will be manipulated at your workplace. So it is also important you read through the UK labor rights and have them right in your fingertips. And also consider knowing if your job is flexible, hybrid, work from home. You work 2 days at home, you go to your blah 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 and work. There's been a certain situation where somebody took a sponsorship job as a nursing mom, and that job was, support work. And if you know support work, when you go from home A to home B to home 3, sometimes they don't pay you for transportation. This is what a nursing mom chose, and I think she said 14 hours or 12 hours. That kind of job is not really flexible for a nursing mother. She was crying, blah, blah, blah. Sponsorship. That means you are expected to work 37 to 40 hours a week on that kind of job. This is why you should understand your employment status, the labor rights, what it entails. Some people, they give them in their contracts. They don't read it. They will just sign. And once they get on the job, they begin to cry, had I known, had I known. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Do not make such a mistake. Now, the last point, which is the number 12, is stay positive and persistent. Do not be discouraged by tons of rejections, unsuccessful feedback from the companies you have applied to. It happens to every one of us. Sorry you are. Because I wanted to get a job directly from a secondary school. I was so looking forward to it. And then I got this unfortunate email, unsuccessful. So it happens to everyone. Do not be discouraged. You keep trying. Ensuring that you tailored your CV towards that field, job requirements. Have different CVs for different jobs. CV for your care work, CV for customer service, CV for this and CV for that. Yes. For instance, if you're going to be using a CV Hub, the online thing here to do your CV, 1 month is enough for you to create different CVs and download them and keep sending them out. Different CV for different job role. It will come, definitely. It takes time at times. To some people, it doesn't. To some, it does. Keep your fingers crossed, be positive, and I wish you all the best. Fingers crossed you get on the job soonest. Congratulations in advance. Like my video, please, subscribe, and keep coming back. Bye for now.